Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Godzilla 65th Anniversary 3.5-inch anime Godzilla. Now this version of Godzilla comes from the 2017 anime film Godzilla Monster Planet, and Godzilla Monster Planet is, truth be told, in my opinion, the worst Godzilla movie of all time. Say what you want about movies like Godzilla's Revenge or Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Yeah, those are bad movies, but there's still some enjoyment to be had with those movies. So, yeah, that and the 1998 Matthew Broderick movie. People hate that movie because they kind of butchered Godzilla, but they kind of retconned it later on, saying that the Americans thought it was Godzilla, but it wasn't Godzilla. So, at the end of the day, if you look at it as a Godzilla spin-off film, it's not bad, but if you do look at it as the traditional Godzilla film, then, yeah, you're not going to have a fun time. So, yeah. Godzilla Monster Planet, on the other hand, is just a boring mess. Barely anything happens. I like the concept, I will admit, but the rest of the movie is just boring. And, this is also something, Godzilla has been a big part of Japan's culture since, 1954. So, 65 years, there are, statues, there's a hotel, and, a Godzilla store. So, yeah, Godzilla's pretty big in Japan, I'd say. And it kind of surprises me how it took them this long to make a full-on, legit Godzilla anime. And I just think it was executed poorly. And just to clarify, I'm not a big fan of anime, truth be told. I don't hate it. In fact, truth be told, there are some shows that I actually really like. I actually get a really big kick out of shows like Monster Musume and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Those shows are really good. I also like Seven Deadly Sins, but truth be told, that last season that came out, or at least when I'm recording this, I don't know if Season 3 is out or not, but that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But, yeah, no, I'm not anti-anime, it's just Godzilla Monster Planet is just a horrible show, or movie, so, yeah. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get into this. So, first, we'll take a look at the painting on this figure, and the painting on this figure is actually very good, for what it is. It's not perfect, but it's still good. So, as we can see, most of the body is this very dark, bluish, greenish color, which does look nice. And on the thighs here and on the shoulders, we have a brighter shade of blue, which, again, looks very nice. Going to his dorsal plates here, we can see that they are painted a metallic silver, which, again, looks very nice, and that continues all throughout. His toenails are painted blue, as well as his fingernails, and even his eyes are painted blue. And throughout this figure, we do have, a lot of glitter throughout, which actually, it does kind of make this figure pop more. So, yeah, I think that looks very nice. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. The painting on this figure is not bad. It's not great. There are some things that I would have done differently, but for the most part, the painting on this figure, for what it is actually really good. I feel like this figure would have benefited more if there was more of this, blue patterning going throughout, maybe on the tail, or more on the front of the body or something like that, but for what it is, the painting on this figure is not bad at all, so the paint gets pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure, it's basic for a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure, because these are pretty much smaller versions of those. So basically, the arms can move 360, and if you adjust the arms, the legs can move 360 as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation. Again, it's pretty average for a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure, so it gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the sculpting on this figure, and the sculpting on this figure is good. It looks very accurate to how he looked in Godzilla Monster Planet. Of course, some sacrifices had to be made. The dorsal plates are a little too thick, because in the movie they were much thinner, but obviously they can't make them super thin or else, this will be very fragile, but yeah, the rest of the sculpting here looks very nice. And Godzilla's design in Monster Planet, I remember I said I didn't like, and I don't love it, but it kind of grew on me. Godzilla at least has a stupid expression on his face, but even then, it doesn't look awful. So, yeah. Not my favorite Godzilla design, but not awful, so, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the sculpt. It's great. Looks very accurate to how it looked in the anime movie, so it gets a pass. Now take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is actually very good. So taking a look at his head, we can see that all the creasing and all the cracks in his head is detailed very nicely. And we do get that traditional tree bark detailing throughout. And I say tree bark because in Godzilla Monster Planet, Godzilla is a giant plant, which is something I still don't kind of get, like why they did that. But yeah, anyway, we have more of that tree bark detail, which actually looks very nice here. And that continues all the way through the tail here. And the dorsal plates are trying to look like leaves, so yeah, because like Godzilla's just a big tree. Like, you know, his dorsal plates are supposed to be leaves, and you know, he's supposed to be like the tree trunk. So yeah, Godzilla's just a big plant in this movie. But either way, the detailing in the dorsal plates, very nice. And that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. And the detailing on this figure is actually really good, so it gets a pass. So at the end of the day, should you get this, even though I really don't like Godzilla Monster Planet, I still think that this is actually a fairly decent figure for what it is. This figure would cost you about like $8 if you get it at like Walgreens or Target. In my other videos, I said that these figures are probably like $10, but they're actually $8, so if you can't get them for that price, then definitely do so. But yeah, for $8, it's not awful. I feel like the paint could have been a little better, but again, for a small little figure like this, it's not bad at all. So yeah. Anyway, if you want to know how big he is, here he is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.